All right, let's get right into it. We're going to unpack what makes the idea of an intruder in the basement so uniquely terrifying. To do that, we're going to deconstruct 4 incredibly unsettling true stories and get to the heart of this very specific kind of fear.
It all starts with the space itself. This quote from one of the stories just nails it, doesn't it? The basement is part of your home, but it's different. It's this alien landscape right beneath your feet, full of hidden corners and blind spots. So here's our game plan. We're not just going to retell these stories, we're going to dissect them. We'll break down the experience into 5 distinct stages. We start with the setting, the space below, then the first sign of trouble, a noise in the dark. That leads to the horrifying reveal, followed by a desperate escape, and finally, we'll grapple with the lingering questions that are left behind.
Okay, let's dive into stage 1, the space below. This is all about why the basement itself is the perfect stage for some serious psychological terror. You know, when you listen to these narrators, they're not describing cozy, finished rec rooms. They're talking about these anxiety-inducing blueprints. Think maze-like walls of unfinished wood, laundry rooms with no windows that are just pitch black, and that single dim yellow light bulb. And every house has its own weird quirks, like a door that connects straight to the garage, giving anyone an easy way in.
And that's really the heart of it, right? It's this massive contradiction. The basement is a familiar part of your house. It's literally the foundation you live on. But at the same time, it feels completely unknown. It's like having a foreign country right under your feet.
And that feeling of the unknown brings us right to stage 2, because every single one of these stories begins not with something you see, but with something you hear, a sound that shatters the quiet and plants that first little seed of dread.
Yep, it is a universal constant in these accounts. The first sign of trouble is always auditory, and that plays on our most primal fear, the fear of the unseen. It's the sound that gets you first, long before you see anything.
What's so creepy here is the progression of these sounds. See how they start? A faint tapping, a little rustle, things you could easily dismiss. But then, they escalate. They get more specific, more human. A soft thud, a door creaking open. And in one absolutely terrifying case, a moaning sound that mimics a family member's voice. Chilling.
So, what's going through your head at that moment? This is the question that's racing through every narrator's mind. You're desperately trying to rationalize it. Is it a raccoon? Is it just the pipes? Please let it be the pipes. Or is it something else entirely? And this is the moment. It's when all your rationalizations fall apart. The denial shatters, and this cold certainty washes over you. You are not alone. That's when the real fear kicks in.
Once that certainty hits, it's a direct path to our third stage, the horrifying reveal. This is that heart-stopping moment when disbelief just crumbles and the unseen threat finally, terrifyingly becomes seen.
And across all these stories, you see this exact same psychological blueprint play out. It's a 3-step process. First, perception, just a flicker of movement in the corner of your eye. Then comes disbelief. Your brain literally refuses to process what it's seeing. And finally, fear. When your mind is forced to accept it, the dam breaks and pure, uncontrolled terror takes over.
And here's the thing. The reveal is almost never some big, clear movie moment. It's a quick glance, a grainy image from a phone flash, or even just an object, like a toy rolling out of the darkness, that proves someone is there. Sometimes it's just a silhouette, and honestly, that ambiguity makes it so much worse.
So once that threat is confirmed, the whole narrative just explodes. The rational part of your brain completely shuts down, and it becomes this chaotic, visceral fight for survival. At this point, it's pure animal instinct. You can see it here. It's this raw combination of fight and flight. People are kicking and screaming, literally throwing their body weight against doors to hold them shut. And at the same time, they're in a desperate scramble to get to safety, dragging friends upstairs, fumbling for a lock.
And this quote, man, it just captures the absolute worst-case scenario, doesn't it? That moment when you think you're gonna make it, escape is right there, just a few steps away, and then you're physically pulled back into the nightmare. Any hope you had is just snatched away.
But, you know, just because you get out of the basement, that doesn't mean the story's over. For every single one of these narrators, the horror actually gets worse because of what happens next. Or, more accurately, what doesn't happen.
I mean, just look at this. Not a single one of these encounters has a clean resolution. The intruders escape, or in one case, they just vanish into thin air. And they leave behind these awful, haunting questions. Why were they there? What did they steal that knife for? And how in the world did they just disappear?
And that right there is the key takeaway. The true horror isn't just those few terrifying minutes in the basement. It's the psychological scar that's left behind. It's knowing that someone was in your home, the one place you're supposed to be safe, and you'll never, ever know why. That feeling of security, it's just gone.
And that leads us to this final question, which is maybe the most chilling of all. In one story, the fear pivots. It's no longer about a random intruder. It's about family. And you're left wondering, if they hid this, what other secrets are buried in the foundation of your own home? What else don't you know?